Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new video. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Welcome back. So, today, folks, I thought we would kind of slow it down, and I kind of wanted to just take it easy, because I'm kind of in between books that I really are like, okay, this is a dedicated book for this dedicated vlog, so on and so forth. So I thought that I would just mood read. I feel like I haven't read what I wanted without it being some big project in a long time. So we're just gonna chill this video and hang out together and read whatever the fetch we want. I've been looking at a few books. Actually, come with me. Welcome to the library. Behind me is all of my stuff. I brought you to the book nook because I kind of want to decide on what to read. I don't know any books off the top of my head. So, do we do fantasy? Do we do historical fiction? We're not gonna do Stephen King. I could totally do a Stephen King book, but I feel like I'm talking about nothing but Stephen King. Speaking of that, by the way, if you haven't checked out my last video, go watch me reading 1,000 pages in 24 hours. Thank you. Like and subscribe. Ooh. I think I've got just the thing. I've had this book for a while. I think I bought this back in like September.
A Harvest of Ash and Blood
by DJ Moles. I mean, look at that cover. That screams Ian Read Me. Read me right now. As far as I'm aware, this is not a part of a series. I mean, the back says, a bold, brutal look at war and belief, A Harvest of Ash and Blood is a sweeping epic fantasy perfect for fans of The Witcher and Joe Abercrombie. I think we all know that Mr. Me is a fan of both of those things. I think this is gonna be real good. Let's get reading. It's a little bit later already. What can I even say? This thing is incredibly readable. I like DJ Moles' prose already. The main setting of this world, they have all of these technological advances, and that's because of this institution called the Church of Alchemy. And the Church of Alchemy kind of, to me, it seems to be running the show. And Lachlan Thatcher is so bitter. He hates all of this. And he hates how people just indulge in this new technology. And he hates how everyone's doing things for the sake of progress. Because progress comes at a cost in this world. The School of Alchemy uses magic, but not in the sense that you would think. You know, this church uses magical people, specifically magical children, to make all this progress and use all of these tools and items and all that stuff. These magical children eventually end up being burned at the stake, and their magical ashes are what powers all of this stuff. So it's real gross. That's honestly quite disturbing when you think about it. And our main character, Lachlan, is extremely disturbed by it. He's fighting wars for this country and this kingdom that is pretty much ruled by this church. Already loving it. Well, hello there. I just got home from work, and wouldn't you know it, I'm starving. Thankfully, that can be quickly remedied by today's sponsor. That's right, Factor. Factor makes meeting your nutrition goals that much easier by delivering fresh, never frozen, dietitian-approved meals right to your doorstep. Their team of gourmet chefs make every single meal using only ingredients with integrity to help you feel your best all the day long. Eat stress-free this spring with Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals. Every fresh, never frozen meal is chef-crafted, dietitian-approved, and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. Oh my gosh. Wellness shots. Holy crap. This is new. Choose from a weekly menu of 35 options. Oh my gosh! What are these meals? These are so good. Turkey, chili, zucchini, jalapeno lime chicken. No fuss, no mess, no meals. Factor meals eliminate the hassle of prepping, cooking, or cleaning up. Simply heat and savor that good stuff. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code Gubeli50. That's right, Gubeli50 50. Get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next box. Thank you again to Factor for sponsoring this video. Back to it. Hi. It is later in the evening. Ashley and I had dinner. We've been reading together for the past like 2.5 hours. Been a little while, but just sitting down and kind of pounding it out. I am at page 114. A Harvest of Ash and Blood. That title is actually starting to make a lot of sense. The way this world works. This is a brutal world. It is giving me Joe Abercrombie vibes, but for some reason it's also giving me Kingdom of Liars by Nick Martell. A Harvest of Ash and Blood is intense. All of our main characters so far are going to war. They're going on what's called the Fourth Crusade to this place called Leftland, and they're going there to pretty much harvest the inhabitants. They need people who can wield magic. They need their ashes. They need to find these people, kill these people, burn these people, and harvest the ashes. And so the entire point of the Crusades is to go to this place because they've kind of hunted down too many magical people. They're waging war against another people group, and they are bringing back the ashes so that their way of life can continue. Oh, I'm exhausted. So much brutality, but I still have so much more before the story can kind of calm down a little bit. If I only read this book for this week, then I only read this book for this week. But I'm gonna read a little bit more, and I'll see you guys later. Oh, hi, Mish. Hi. It has been a day of reading. I've been listening to an audiobook here and there while at work. I'm on chapter 19, yes. Page, 249. I think I started the day at 113. This book is so violent and so brutal. That whole battle scene that I was kind of telling you about yesterday, the whole D-Day and kind of storming the beach and storming the city, laying siege to the city, that took from like chapter 5 to chapter like 15. The first big chunk of this book is just going on the boat to the landing craft to the beach to the city. And it's just kill, being killed. Just so much stuff is happening. I'm dang near 50% done. And I just don't know how the plots of the story that are being woven right now, I just don't see it being a standalone. I see this being more of a series. I'm curious to see whether or not this is going to end up being a standalone. One of the fastest paced books I've read in a long time where you're just kind of thrown in and you're along for the ride the entire time. There's still this kind of eeriness. The world seems very creepy. There was something that I thought was interesting. Just because something makes you feel better doesn't mean it's the truth. Couldn't have said it any better myself. There's so many profound statements like that throughout this. DJ Mullis is a very different way of writing things. He's kind of like on the Joe Abercrombie side of there's wit, but it's brutal and it's honest, but then he's introspective and he kind of reflects on war and its consequences and faith and its consequences and, you know, churches or groups or institutions that keep information from the masses so that they can grow and gain and get rich and all this stuff. So it's kind of this, I almost want to say it's like a cynical view on some of these things. I think faith is a very real thing. Faith is incredibly important to have in one's life. And I don't think this book is going to try to condemn that, but it definitely helps people to question inconsistencies and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I'm not going to say like I'm crazy about it. It feels like a really nice palate cleanser. One of the best aspects of this book is the action. The action is intense. Reading action scenes sometimes in books can be a bit dull, especially if it's, say, like a medieval setting where it's mainly just swords, shields, arrows, spears, that kind of thing. And that can get really redundant really quickly. In this case, it's like a special unit squads that are created to work in this very tight, small group. And they're just supposed to take names. I feel like this guy might have military background because it feels like the action that he's writing is something that he's lived through before. Action in this book feels more SEAL Team 6. This one has a very, very unique style of action and combat and fighting that I honestly, I really enjoy it. One thing that I really dislike about the book is the language. Usually adult style language and cussing and swear words and all that stuff. Like it's easy to just like block it out. Sometimes, dare I say, it kind of adds to a scene. But in here, these guys do it's so much. I feel like I'm watching Boondock Saints again or End of Watch, an obscene amount of language. Even when it's like a slow setting, and you don't get many of those. Oh no! Even in those moments, it's still constant. It is a lot. But that's really my only qualm with it. Back to it. Come here, Bubba. Hi. Come here. Hi, sweet boy. Hi, sweet guy. Everybody say hi to me, Zach. I got book mail. Oh my gosh. I got home from work and one of you sent me a book. Let's see who this be. Ian, this was my first Stephen King book. I hope you enjoy it. I love your content and the way you've inspired me to read more. Red Rising is my fave series right now. If you have an Instagram, I'd love to connect. Ben. Ben, you are incredible. I don't have an Instagram, but there is a way to connect with me. Just look me up on Goodreads. It's just my YouTube name. Same thing for my Goodreads handle. Ian Gubeli. I'll be there. You know what I mean? I connect with a bunch of people on that app. So find me, friend me, look me up. We can connect that way. But let's see what Stephen King book. Oh my. You know, I've been meaning to get this one. I've been meaning to get this one for... How long have I been meaning to get Billy Summers?
Oh my gosh. We were just gonna go get it.
I literally was gonna go get this because there's a video idea that I kind of want to do and Billy Summers is part of it. I've been wanting to get this book for so long.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Ben.
Ben, you are incredible. There will be a reading vlog for this, trust me. But I must talk to you about another book. A Harvest of Ash and Blood. I am... Where the frickin' crap am I? I'm on chapter 30, page 374. Yes, that is yes. So the book ends at 516, so I have almost 100 pages left. Feel like I'm conflicted, but I'm really not. Every time I get the urge to kind of go like, I kind of want to move on from this book, I may soft DNF this. Something happens that kind of sucks me back into the story. He usually does it by some sort of intrigue, whether it's like people hearing things that they shouldn't hear others talking about, and then they know that that's going to cause some drama and some conflict later on down the road. There's so many things that he does to suck me back into the story that I'm like, dang, like this is a good book. And then the high from those moments, I come down from those, and then it's like, oh my gosh, like I feel like I'm kind of drudging through this book, and not in a bad way. Like there's really, when I try to reflect on this book so far, there's nothing about it that is bad. There's just something about how he's telling the story and my personal tastes with what I like to read and what I love from certain authors that, I don't know, sometimes I just go, I wouldn't mind moving on. I will finish it because I'm like 70% done. I will continue on with the story. It's such an interesting world. I love the power struggle, politics dynamics between soldiers, church, and magic. I really like how all of that's interconnecting. The violence is over the top sometimes, which in some parts I'm really like, it's fast paced and I'm enjoying it a ton. But then other times it's like, wow, it's been 10 chapters and we're still doing this. But I feel like the climax is going to be excellent. There's something in my bones that tells me that the last 100 pages or so are going to be really, really intense and really good. I'm going to get back to this and I will rejoin you all later. People, it's the next day. Yes, I'm wearing the same shirt that I wear. We all have that comfort shirt. I know we do. It's clean. It smells fine. I don't do anything dirty in it. I'm eating. That's right, Factor. Yeah, on a pink plate. What of it? In the spirit of mood reading. I wasn't in the mood to finish the book. I'm liking the book. I'm liking the journey. I'm liking the characters. The story is fun, entertaining, fast-paced. But in the spirit of mood reading, I wanted to read something else in the moment. And I'm currently making my way very, very slow. I'm reading Gone with the Wind. I think that's why I'm enjoying it so much. It's because there's a lot going on. There's a lot to this story, and it's so big and it's so famous that I don't really want to miss anything because of how prolific and how beloved this book is. And I actually sat down last night and read like 75 pages. I went to bed at 1:30 in the morning. I'm just loving Margaret Mitchell's prose and how she writes, and I love the story, even though it's really so far removed from like what I normally read. The reason I didn't get back into this is because I have 10 chapters left, and I kind of wanted wanted to take you guys along with me through those 10 chapters. I want the fantasy community to know that this is a good book. Like, this is what I want to know. And if you guys like Joe Abercrombie, if you like The Witcher, if you like things that are a little bit more morally gray, I think this is up your alley. But yeah, so I'm gonna eat my dinner, but I'll see you guys after I'm done eating, and we're gonna have a ball, okay? You ready for a good Friday night? Okay. That chapter was nothing but violence. That chapter was like, it felt like a love letter to the First Law trilogy. And this might be a spoiler, I don't know, but there's a character in here that's very Logan Nine Fingers. If you're familiar, if you've read the First Law, you know what I'm talking about. Logan Nine Fingers has an alter ego called the Bloody Nine, that when Logan is pressed into these situations, something inside of him switches and he becomes the most bloodthirsty, unstoppable, murdering force on the page. And I feel like I just witnessed an horrific or an homage to that in this chapter. Redskin is crazy. That was way more stressful than it needed to be. Well, okay. Speechless, I'm just gonna move on. Just gonna move on. I'll talk to you in the morning. Another end to another video. Oh my goodness. A Harvest of Ash and Blood. Wow. It has been a long time since I read a book that was that fast paced. It definitely has that Abercrombie Witcher feel. It was more than senseless brutality, and it was more than just being violent to be violent. It was a look into warfare and what it does to the heart and the soul and the mind of a person. What lengths is a person willing to go for duty and honor, but also can duty and honor sometimes collide with morality and what is right and what is wrong. And I think it did a very good job of kind of asking those questions. Then at the same time, on the other hand, it also explores faith and the dangers of blind faith and how just following to follow is dangerous. This cult-like mania that can make you not critically think about the things that you're being told and the things that you're believing and the things that you're doing because of your faith. It explores how a person can go along their entire life and do these things and believe in these things and live a certain way because of these beliefs. And at the end of it, it allows them to unburden their conscience when they make immoral and wrong and wicked decisions and do terrible things. I feel like I've not had a book that reaches into the depths of like profound discussion and thought like that in a while. I did not expect this to take me on that sort of journey. I'm going to give it a 3.75 just because I felt like it was just constant action, and that's not really what I solely want from a book. I felt like 75% of this was action, 25% of it was actual progression of the plot, you know, and also the language, man, jeez, like I've read some books where some characters have a potty mouth and sometimes it's a little unbearable, but this book was obscenely just vulgar. I don't even know people who talk like that in real life. And I lived on the East Coast for a while. But anyway, folks, that's all I got. I thought I would read more for mood reading. I think that's sometimes the trap that a lot of YouTubers and booktubers in general feel that they have to do. And that's the fun about mood reading, is you just kind of slow it down and do whatever. I only had a week, and 500-page book, you know what I mean? I only read one book, who cares? Folks, we've come to the end. We have come to the end of the line. Thank you guys so much for being here and sticking around with me this long. And thank you again to Factor for sponsoring this video. Head to factor75.com or click the link below in the description to get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next box. Factor's amazing. I highly recommend doing this. So again, use the code Gubeli50. Again, is Gubeli50. But folks, I'm gonna sign out of here. Thank you so much, and I will catch you in the next one.